So who are you?
Oh, right. So who am I? I am Efe Ezekiel, a youth mentor and founder of Ushine Ishine.
And you haven't always been a mentor.
No, I haven't. Right, so let me take you back very quickly, back in time. I've originally started working in television, and I became an intern. That was my first job out of university, which was amazing, and at MTV, and that was something that I'd always wished, dreamed and hoped for. So I went into there, did a wonderful internship at the news department, and met lots of amazing musicians and celebrities and all the people that a young girl who's just finished her degree could ever imagine. And then from there I went on to become a TV assistant in advertising, and then on to become a TV producer, and so I spent many years producing commercials for brands, massive brands all over the world, and working extremely hard in the world of advertising. That's my background.
So you were doing really well, and you decided to change direction. What was the reason for that? You were working in a very, very highly paid industry and decided to be a youth mentor. What was the turning point? What was the spark that made you do that?
Okay. So, yes, advertising is an amazing industry with lots of creativity and really interesting, innovative people and ideas. But for me, I knew that I had to do something that was my absolute passion. Television was my passion, but my absolute passion was young people. They've always been my passion ever since I could remember holding a baby or being around children. So my spark initially was to start a company that had my own philosophy and ethos. But before then, I needed to get the groundwork. So I started volunteering for a media charity, because that was the one thing that I had expertise in, concrete knowledge, and I knew that I could pass on to young people. So I started volunteering, and I did that I've done it for a decade now, but with that specific charity, I started 6 years, and then started my own company, Ushine Ishine, because I wanted to create something that had my philosophy, and I wanted to do it with purpose, passion and poise, so young people really be inspired, and it to have such a resounding positivity that could be passed on to many people. And the great thing about advertising is that you can explore lots of ideas, and then it hones your own personal ideas, but I knew I couldn't stay there because my passion wasn't there, and it's quite a hard place to keep working because you're always on it. You need energy, and you're delivering constantly. It's a quick turnover industry, so it's my time to make a change and do it with such great and add value.
You've worked with some very large organisations, banks in this area, who have supported your objectives as a mentor. Could you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, so I've since I started not knowing where I was going to go, who was going to help me, how I was going to train. But by the grace of all things good and hard work, I've been able to work with big companies such as PwC, where I was going to be supporting them with their mentoring. I'm also now a Barclays Bank trainer, so I do their life skills, which is absolutely incredible, and I commend Barclays Bank for providing such a great service for young people. I've worked with many charities, from the Prince's Trust going in to teach sessions, Mosaic, which is another Prince Charles's charities. Oh, the list goes on. I've worked with the Ideas Foundation, which is an amazing foundation for creativity. You know, when you're thinking of lots of all the companies you've worked with, then your mind goes blank.
Well, no, that's a pretty long list. Yes, that's fantastic.
And many more.
Why do you think there's such a need for a service like yours?
Right, so I say that mentoring is like the new black now. It's so needed and necessary from children to adults in whatever field, because we all need a guiding hand and we all need someone to support us in our endeavours. And sometimes we live in a world that we view, and the media has shown to us, to be quite cold, solitary. There's a lot of war and sad things going on. But as I know that there's so many good people who just want to help somebody else, and I see it in young people people especially, the rate of volunteering has gone up because they really care about their world and they care about how other people are living. So for me, mentoring was a no-brainer because I knew that out there were children that desperately needed advice, guidance, care, and ultimately love in whatever field or whatever options, maybe career, any life issues, just everything really. We all need someone, and sometimes it's best it come from someone who probably doesn't know our situation, who can have a very clear idea and view on anything that you're going through. So yeah, mentoring is everything.
So you've worked with some very big names. Have you also worked with schools and universities?
Yes, so the great thing that I do is that I not only work with schools, universities, I also work in prisons with I hate labels, young people who are coming out of prison and they of it is rehabilitation. I work with babies, and sometimes it is just caring for them, giving them a cuddle, to toddlers, to then primary school. So, my work has been very varied, and then I'm coming up to what we call millennials, which is another title and label, but it's just young people. As this technology and digital world is forming and going on so rapidly, it's about them finding their place. So my breadth of work is very wide. Not many people can say that they can work with every single age group and have such a positive result. So I'm very honoured, and it's a gift that I can affect various children's lives. Yes. Could
you give us some examples, some case histories, maybe of individuals and maybe groups that you've worked with?
Yes, I call my little ambassadors. And so one young lady, she's called Jamie, she's amazing, straight A student. She heard me speak at an event and then asked me she said that it really inspired her, so she got me to speak to her whole year group, which was year 11s, and she said the buzz from it was quite amazing. She calls me all the time to support her in her endeavours. I have young people that I've known from when I started 10 years ago, who we still talk and we connect, and they're doing amazingly. I've got one girl who's at one of the biggest YouTube providers, and she's gone on to talk on Sky News about her experiences. I've got one young lady who has after we spoke at a Channel 4 event, she then went on to become one of the top 3 contenders. She went to be a presenter, contenders for Entertainment News. I think she's speaking at Google, and she's now a presenter for a really big online music platform. And then, the little babies, an ambassador for a primary school, when I go in, create an environment of happiness and joy. And, they always call me back to deliver various sessions to engage and encourage that in their children. Because, yes, education is great, but unless you give them a foundation and make sure that they love learning, that for me is everything.
Have you worked with any celebrities in this area? And if you haven't, are you trying to recruit celebrities to your cause to help mentor these children?
You know what? For the first part of the question, I haven't mentored any celebrities yet. But I would love to, especially the young ones that are coming through maybe on reality shows, where it shows quite a disparate image of what fame is and how you should handle yourselves with public, and how, what we're leading our children to aspire to. And we need to think of different ways of inspiring them. And I'd love to work with a lot of the young, very highly popular and famous young people in Hollywood, because a lot of them seem to take a crash course in growing up, and you see it's very detrimental to their life, and drugs and alcohol and the way they're leading it. So I just think that they need someone that is outside of their circle to give them the right advice and be a support system. With the second part of the question, I would love patrons to support my company and to support mentoring. So I'd love to have a Kanye West, because I think a lot of people don't realise that he is actually a genius. And sometimes the way he communicates, maybe not how we all understand it to be, but there's a great man in there, and I think that he provides a lot of creative stimuli for people. There's a young boy called Stormzy at the moment, and I think he's great because he's using lyrical content. He had a dream. He even put his mum in a music video, which we've never seen, and that's amazing. And then I just like anybody who has the same, I don't mind if they're a celebrity or not, who's on the same vision as me, that we can create a world by inspiring our children to be better and do better and live better than we did and our, our past ancestors have. So we can really create a world where we're all together and it's creative and we can do great things as a community, as a team. So that's who I want.
So if Kanye West is listening, you'd like his help, you'd like to work with him. And of course, that would be extremely useful because you want to take your programme worldwide, don't you?
Yes,
Could you tell us your plans for doing that?
One of the main things is to make sure that I become a worldwide speaker on a massive platform of positivity, inspiration, creativity and mindset for young people. And it could be for anyone. My message isn't new, but I think it's totally needed in the life and times that we're living in now. I'm also creating lots of content, may it be courses. I'm creating animations to inspire our children. I'm writing books, inspirational books, fantasy books, stuff that will take our minds to a different place and create a dream. So, my work is to work with Disney at some point and Pixar, which are amazing, to just create some really amazing stuff. I'm also writing scripts on history and the representation of women and ethnicity. So that's coming into fruition as well. And then doing whatever gives me the opportunity to express myself, express my voice and do it in the most glorious and inspirational and fun way. So I'm coming.
So which markets do you want to go into? Which geographical regions do you want to go into next?
Of course, America, but in a really unique way, not in the motivational speaker way, because there's a lot of people who do it and they do it amazingly well. So I'm working on something where I can hit America that they've never seen before. That can be really cool and accessible way with an English brand and as they say, swagger to it. And then Australasia, which I think is very needed, and to work with Australian, New Zealand children, where that would be amazing for me. And then Asia, I think the young people in Asia love different cultures, they love Britain and they love London, and I think a lot of them probably need a new different way of being inspired. And then most importantly, where my parents are from, Africa and Nigeria, I'd love to work with them and build schools and different education. But my main intention is to make sure that I hit a global market, but make sure that content is related to the exact needs, issues and solutions for those specific parts of the world.
What are the other associations you have? Do you work with a team of people?
Okay, so I usually work with freelancers, and a lot of them are young people who come in to support the ideas I use as a soundboard, feedback. They film for me, sometimes I edit, sometimes I invite them to events so they can explore their opportunities as well. Animators, illustrators, just people who can keep the creativity going. And I've always got an idea for something, so it's just being able, if I can't express it myself, then I will share it with the young people and maybe they can express it in their music or their fashion brand, any which way. So that's what I do currently. But my main aim is to build a team of 10 people, strong 10 people who have got all of those elements, and then we can just keep pumping out the Ushine Ishine brand content. So that is my plan for coming year, and I'm very, very excited.
And you also have a mentor. Can you tell us about your mentor?
Yes, well, you know what? I seem to be collecting them, but my first mentor, who I've properly acknowledged, I found him, or he found me, we found each other, let's say. His name is Alan. He's one of the most gracious men. We meet up every few months. He listens to all the things that I'm planning. Sometimes you just need someone just to speak to. Everybody needs an Alan, or an Effie, or me, an Alan or an Effie.
You mentioned earlier that you would like to recruit Kanye West to your cause. Are there any other people that you would like to present your mentoring ideas to?
Yes, absolutely. the main lady on my list is Miss Oprah Winfrey, the queen of media. She's inspired me since I was a little girl, and I just think what she has done with her life and the legacy will never run dry. To be inspired by a woman who looked like me, who understood some of the issues, but then was relatable to the whole world, because she is an energy and a spirit that can never be duplicated. I'd love to be part of her team and work with her, because for me that would be someone who is spreading the kind of light and the energy that I have built and had to build confidence and had to be a great communicator to touch many hearts and souls and spirits. And my unique point is that I do it with the young. And my gift is touching young people, and her gift is, just touching people in a really wonderful way. So I see synergy, I see connection, and I'm grateful for what she's already accomplished, but I'd love to be in her future to accomplish more as well. So yes, that's Miss Oprah, I love you.
Have you always been this confident and go-getting? What sort of child were you?
You know what? I think I was, but I was a very quiet child. My mum said I used to be quite happy to play by myself and watch TV. But then on the other side, my mum said there was a different side where I just go up to children in a playground and start conversing, and the one thing I loved to do was dance, so I didn't care who was watching. I'd just throw some shapes on that dance floor and get on down. But I think as you get older, my confidence kind of dropped, just because I think that society has an idea, and then you fall into society's idea of you, and sometimes family can put their issues on you as well. But then as I've got older, I've realised that nothing can hold you back. You have to be fearless. This is your world. No one can tell you what to do. You have to live by your own values. You need to change your belief system so they suit you. And once I made a decision, I decided I'm never going back on that. This is my life, and I'm here to make a mark, and it's my time to shine. Hey, yes.
Efe Ezekiel, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you.